All right, now in Lomi Lomi, more than any other massage style, you're going to be using your forearms and your elbows a lot, okay? So I really need you to get to know your forearms and elbows a lot better. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using our elbows, and now I really want to instill this into you early in the course. Now, any massage style, I'll give you the structure, but then you can, once you've got that structure, then you can start, playing with it, doing different things, more strokes here, less strokes there, or just changing it up a little bit once you've got the structure. So, and Lomi Lomi, like any other is not like any other massage. It's a real dance more than any others, okay? Because you're working, and it's just a beautiful side to side or going forward, and you'll see this as I teach you through the course. And I really want you to get this, really get into it like the Hawaiians do. It's just a real, I'm going to say spiritual, I mean it certainly is for the Hawaiians, but I'm not saying that, it's just a rhythmical dance, all right? That flow, when you get into the zone, you get this flow, and that's what you really want to do. So once I show you this structure, I really want you to just really play with it, really enjoy it. And that goes for any massage as well, because there's nothing worse than doing, again, get your structure first. I'll teach you the structure, and then once you've got that, then the world is your oyster. Then with that structure, then you can play with it. So rather than every single, it's like a cookie cutter massage. You don't want to be doing it's like 1, 2, they do 4 strokes, and then okay, I do this, and it's boring for you. And if you have regular clients and you're doing them weekly, it's going to get boring for them, because then they're going to know exactly what's going on. So by adapting, doing little things, it makes it not only more enjoyable for your client, but it makes it fun for you. It really livens it up for you, because you're, I'm just loving this, just away we go, and just working through. So let's get back to the forearms and elbows. Right. So I want you to just feel, because you're going to be playing with the forearms and elbows, as I say, but just feel, so when you kind of like doing a bicep curl, your elbow is much more pointed, your olecranon, your elbow. So you feel that. So if you need to get more pressure, then you bring up the forearm, bring up the hand to make it sharp. It's a sharper angle, right? So you'll learn this through the course, but I just want to plant the seed, if you like, right now. So, okay, so I want to put more pressure on. So I'm working with that, because you're treating a really big guy or something. And then likewise, the opposite, if you've got someone that's young or weak, or just sort of thinner or something like that, then the angle is much less, and then so it won't be so hard onto the person, so it's more comfortable. So you're doing that. So that's using the elbow. Now we can work that all the way through. You can work it now. See the way I'm turning my hand. Now you can do it with working the elbow with your hand down, with your hand up, and they all will feel different. So just feel the difference with hand down in a karate chop position and hand up. It's just all very slightly different. And likewise, you can do that on the stroke. This sort of twisting with it's just a twisting with your hand, right? So this is just these lovely things that really make it completely different. Like, because a person goes, it just feels so good. You've got no idea what you're doing. And you're just playing with this, just feeling the rhythm. You can see I'm using my body weight, as you'll learn, as we just do that. Right, that's just with the elbow. But then when you get to the forearm, it gets even more interesting, because feel this bone here. So get your hand in a karate chop, what I call a karate chop, right? Feel that bone there, that's your ulnar bone. You can feel it, it's quite sort of sharp-ish, So this is really good, once again, if you're treating someone where you need more pressure, because it almost acts like a blade, yeah? So with your hand in this karate chop position, that really exposes that bone. So if you're working like this part of the forearm here, then you can put a lot more pressure, okay, with your hand like this. Now, just keep your hand on this bone here, and see what happens when because now you're on your forearm, and see what happens now when you turn your hand down. Okay, now you're on the big fleshy flexor muscles of the forearm. Okay, so now let's say you're doing someone that couldn't take as much pressure, or sort of bonier areas around the shoulders, that sort of thing, you're not going to bang into them with your ulnar bone. So you're going to work with your hand down, because it's all big fleshy forearm. Likewise, when your hand is up. So this is called pronation, this is called supination of the hand, or the forearm. So here again, now you've got your extension muscles, so you can do that. So once again, you can turn your hand around in circles. So I really, really want you to play this. I encourage you to do this because, again, like I said to you, it's so much more fun for you and the client. So the other thing you can do is bringing your hand, when I bring the hand up like this, it tightens up the muscles because they're on a stretch, right? So you can just working different and feeling these differences in the muscles as you go. So do it with, obviously, with both your forearms, so you're really getting the hang of it, okay? So that's what you want to be practicing. I really want you to just practice this on yourself, feel the difference, really explore that elbow and forearm area, hand down, hand up, karate chop position, both flexing and extending, and likewise doing it, because you can imagine when we're massaging, so we're working, as you'll see what I do when I come through, we're working up, changing the angle with your hand. So it changes, and it's just so interesting, as I say, for both you and the client. And so you get used to doing that, using, you see I use my body weight, nice wide across the chest, which you'll learn, not hunched up like this. So you just get this nice feeling of this beautiful flow. And so then once you start to work both sides with your forearms, and it's just so lovely. And I say, you'll get to a point where you just, what you must say, once you've learned the basics and the structure, you'll get to a point where it just becomes such a beautiful dance for you, and it just becomes so, it's just so lovely to perform. And that's why Lomi Lomi, to me, the biggest difference with Lomi Lomi is with other massage forms, for me, is a lot of massage forms, we're doing two hands, like two hands at the same time, this thing. Lomi Lomi, they use a lot of with the opposing, so it might be a hand working up here, and as a forearm comes up, so I'm working around the shoulder blade as I'm doing this. It's a bit like the tummy in the head, rubber tummy, pat the head thing at times, but it becomes so interesting and so amazing. So that's what I want you to do. Start practicing, feeling that, and that will also give you better palpation skills with your forearm and elbow. So you get to go, okay, so I can feel that sinking down into the muscle belly there. That's where, so because you want to get good sensitivity, because you're probably not used to it, and it's easier with our hands because a lot more nerve endings to know what pressure feels like. So by doing this more pressure and more practice, you'll be able to get better understanding of the pressure you need. And it's just, you're about to see. It's such a lovely, lovely thing to do, a great massage to perform, and my goodness, to receive as well.